Get the whole story.
Thank you so much for that. I'm also interested to understand about your business diversification. And I noticed that you recently got accreditation of Kenyan's Calibration Center. And what does this mean to you and your shareholders? Maybe could I, first of all, help us understand what this is about?
I don't know whether you have ever had an opportunity to visit one walk. I mean, millions of gadgets that measure electricity, current, the voltages, and we have also housing the food light to geothermal. That is that measure the temperature, the pressure. Yeah. And, as the machines rotate, the temperature is very key. We must monitor most of them. So the gadgets that are used, you must keep on ensuring that they are precisely set. Yeah. They are giving you the right measurement. Yes. Otherwise, if they give you the wrong measurement, then you'll be in problems. Yeah. So that particular center, calibration center, is going to help, number one, to calibrate our own equipments, as I have indicated. Of course, there will be a lot of savings because we shall be doing it in-house. Secondly, we are also looking at the market out there. There are very many industries. There are other independent power producers who would come to us, and we are going to use that as another source of revenue generation for us going forward.
Which is very beautiful, especially for you and the shareholders. Yeah. Energy demands has been also something that I've seen on an increase of the population is increasing, the industries are growing and everything else. And your approach at the center of ensuring that we can meet industry demands, especially when we are trying to attract people to come and be in investment, to have the investment hubs put in this place. How do you plan to address this escalated national demand, especially on the angle of clean energy, because it's an attraction?
Clean energy is the debate, in the conversation in the world today. And I have mentioned that most of our portfolio is clean energy, geothermal, hydro, and wind. And soon we are also going into solar, which is also clean. We have a small component of but looking at the way things are going now, our government has pronounced itself that by 2030, maybe 2032, 2034, you should have all the thermals out of place. So we are working hard. We are actually, as I had said earlier, pulling down one of our oldest machines and put new machines to generate more geothermal. Looking at operating some of the machines, the turbines, to also generate more, geothermal. We are looking into the other fields. Kenya has a potential of 10,000 megawatts of geothermal. Currently, we have only been able to harness about 1,000. So we still have 9,000 out there, which has not been harnessed. And this figure I'm giving you is including all the independent power producers, what they are producing. Yeah. So there's a lot of potential. So we want to continue engaging our government to be able to allocate us new fields where we can also go and, get more geothermal. But besides that, we are already working with some of our financiers to finance a project for solar. I have mentioned at Hydro, where we are going to have a solar plant that will be generating about 42.5 megawatts. And that is a project that we are seeing maybe by 2026, it should be on board. We are also looking at some of our old hydro power plants in Western. In Moroni, we have Gogo, which we are also going to pull down and put a new one. It has been generating about 2 megawatts. The new one will be generating 8.6 megawatts. You can see what it's going to do to the western area. Look at Marsabit, has got very good winds. And we are still looking at a project that we have already done feasibility study, and we know we can be able to establish 100 to 200 megawatts of a wind power farm in Marsabit. Besides that, there are very many other opportunities. We're also looking at Otukos. And I'm sure perhaps you have seen in other countries, they are able to harness winds offshore in the ocean. They use it to generate power. So that is also an area we are opening our eyes to. Yeah. We are asking our financiers to also work with us, and we shall be able to get into that. So we are going to expand. We are not going to relent our effort so that as the economy grows, we make our contribution. Today, I've just participated in the launch of the strategic plan for new PER. These are the nuclear power. They are going to set up a nuclear power plant by the year 2034.
Yes.
So the government is looking at ensuring there is good base load in this country. And for us, we are seeing that as an opportunity because it's going to encourage investors to come in big numbers.
Yeah.
Big investors. Yes.
Actually, I thought you competition.
No. It's going to encourage big investors to come. And for that reason, it will create also opportunity for us to generate more power through our Josam, through our wheat, and through our hike. That's what is going to happen. So it's an encouragement.
Excellent,
Yes.
excellent.
Yes.
And thank you so much for enlightening. I thought I would have thought there's no more way. Oh, competition is coming.
Oh, no.
But as we come to a close, engineer, and thank you so much for articulating these things very well. I want us to address the shareholder. First of all, I must congratulate you because you gave some great dividend payout to your shareholders, which really shows your robust financial health.
Yeah.
But of course, shareholders will always ask the question of how sustainable is this, because we want to keep having these dividends coming by. So I wanted you to, speak to them, maybe based on your future prospects and what you're seeing and your word to them.
I want to encourage our shareholders. The future is looking bright. And if you look at the history of KenGen, we have actually sustained our share payment of dividends over a period. Maybe we are the only privileged energy sector institution that has been able to pay. We are 70% owned by the government. The other day, I think it was last month, we paid a good check to the government of dividend and also to our private shareholders. So as I have said earlier, we are looking into the future. We are encouraged. The economy is growing. The demand is there. Our product, which is electricity, energy, has market available. Looking at the cost of our electricity and the least cost power development plan that our sister company KPLC has, our energy is normally called fast because it is cheaper. Our government has been running the KPLC to ensure that the costs of electricity is lower. One of the ways is to ensure that you pick the lowest cost. KenGen has the lowest cost. That tells you that our revenues will continue growing. We have said we are going to work with the new technologies to improve on the efficiency. We are going to manage our operational costs and ensure that we apply technology. So recently, we have worked with Japan, JICA, who have got a very interesting system of IoT, Internet of Things. We are going to now harvest a lot of our data and utilize that data, do data analytics, and that will be informing us when do we require to do what maintenance do we require to do when for particular plant and for particular equipment. And that will help us to ensure that we don't put up off machines when they are required to be generating revenue. That is very useful. So we are looking at the way it is now, and we know we are headed for better things. Our payment of dividends is guided by our policy that 30% profit before tax goes to dividends, and we are working towards that so that we ensure whatever profit we make, 30% before tax goes to the shareholders.
Wow.
Yeah.
Engineer, thank you so much for your time, and thank you so much for articulating this. And here at the Trading Level, wish you well.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Asante Dan.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
There you go, Engineer and CEO Peter Jenga, very confident, especially with a great message to shareholders that this is a trajectory and the future is yet even to be realized. And of course, for all the investors and the people who look forward to having a stable place where you have energy distribution for your investments, then he says this is the place to be. Thank you so much for your time. I live in Now with the Markets.
The bond market has come a long way, and I must say this approval from the CMA for the NSE to be able to now have a hybrid structure is a result of that very long-term strategy that started back in 2009 when we automated the market from the manual environment to a digital way of doing business. So now this hybrid bond market, what it means is that you have an opportunity as an investor to come through our licensed trading participants, those are the brokers, or also you have an opportunity, if you are a financial institution approved by CMA, to face the market directly, and that is what we call over-the-counter transactions. You will appreciate the way bonds work. They are big volume transactions, so we are now giving our investors the opportunity to be able to negotiate those transactions and report them to the exchange before settlement happens at the Central Bank of Kenya for government bonds or at the Central Depository and Settlement Corporation in the event that you are trading a corporate bond. So what we have done is to ensure that we have broadened the scope over and above our existing trading participants. We have come up with an additional license that we are calling unauthorized securities dealers that is going to allow commercial banks to face the market directly for purposes of secondary trading of bonds. There is a whole buffet of benefits, and one is that we, for the first time, we have been able to achieve pre-trade transparency. Pre-trade transparency means that before you come and execute the trade at the exchange, we are now giving the market the opportunity to be able to give us the price points so that investors are able to know if I want to engage a bank or if I want to engage a trading participant, what are the price points for that bond? So we'll be able to achieve that pre-trade transparency. The second thing that is of advantage to us is that we have been able to aggregate all investors through our platforms. Today, you'll find that we have investors like commercial banks who participate in the short end of the curve. We also do have investors who participate on the long term of the curve, and those are our pension schemes. We have been able to aggregate all of them through our platform. And the second advantage, therefore, is that we will be able to have a yield curve that is not only short term, but also long term. Our intention is to work within the government policy direction where we are lengthening the yield curve. So our expectation is that we will not only have insurances on the short term, we will also have insurances going forward on the long term. It should interest you to note that we do have a 25-year bond currently in the market that was issued around 5 years ago. It was a 30-year paper. So who knows? Our intention is to ensure that going forward, we may be able to put out a long-term paper as the case may be.